Actions are dependent upon intention, saying of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. So the first thing is one must have a very clear intention that why he or she is going to Makkah, and it must only be for God's sake. The second thing is putting on ihram. Now one must not cross the miqat points without putting on the ihram. So you can put on your ihram before the miqat point or at the miqat point. Now the miqat point that you're looking at is the miqat point that comes when you are entering Makkah from Taif side. Usually at all the miqat points you would find all the necessities that you'd require to perform Umrah, like ihram, flip-flops, backpacks, belts, showering necessities like soap, shampoo, towels, etc. So if you haven't already brought these things alongside, you could purchase them at a reasonable price at the miqat point. Once you've got all your things ready, then you can put on your ihram. At the miqat point, you'd find a showering facility where you can take shower and then put on your ihram. Although you can put on your ihram before the miqat point while in the plane or at your home, but it is preferable to change and put on your ihram after taking shower at the miqat point. Ihram is worn in such a way that one piece of cloth is wrapped around the upper part of the body and the other piece of cloth is wrapped around the lower part of the body. After putting on your ihram, now you are under conditions of ihram. So make sure you know what are the prohibitions of ihram. After putting on the ihram, you proceed to masjid to offer 2 rakahs of prayer before proceeding to Masjid al-Haram. Now you proceed to Masjid al-Haram and try to enter from Umrah gate or the pilgrim's gate, which leads you directly to the ground floor of mataf, which means around the Kaaba, where you can start your tawaf. Once you reach the mataf area or the tawaf area of the Kaaba, you need to go to the Hajri Aswad corner. It's mostly crowded, so you would see there's a green light on the right side opposite to the Hajri Aswad, which is the starting point for tawaf. So from this point you start your circumambulation or tawaf of Kaaba. Start the first round or the first circuit of tawaf and complete like this 7 rounds or 7 circuits. It is advisable to keep a counter with you so that you don't forget which round you were doing. After completing the 7 rounds, you can pray at Multazim, which is the area between Hajri Aswad and the door of the Kaaba. The next thing is to pray at makam Ibrahim. So you pray 2 rakahs of prayer at makam Ibrahim before you proceed for Sahi. Sahi starts from Mount Safa. So if you are on the ground floor, you'd be able to see the top of the Mount Safa. Or if you are on the first or second floor, there would be a marking to let you know that this is the start of Sahi or this is the point of Mount Safa. Once you proceed to Mount Safa, you can start moving from Mount Safa to Mount Marwa to complete the first circuit of Sahi. The green light area from Safa to Marwa and Marwa to Safa means that men must walk briskly or they run while going through this area or passing through this area. Differently abled people or elderly people can perform Sahi on the wheelchair, and there is an area that is earmarked for the wheelchairs. Likewise, they can also perform Tawaf on the wheelchairs. So you complete 7 rounds of Sahi from Safa to Marwa, and 7th round would end at Mount Marwa. The last element is to have your head shaved or trimmed. This marks the completion of your Umrah, and now you can change ihram.